How many times I got to let y'all bitches know I'm why so many bitches wanna take my flow? I'm too hot, too dope, flow like that pink Chris and mimosa. Who the fuck doper? Niggas wanna run up in my spots and
believe back with another video. You know I had to start this video like that. Fam, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you have these videos in your possession each and every time I go live. This is going to be really short. Actually, I had used some PTO from work, so I have a little leeway this morning because I got to do a delivery this morning for a Christmas party. So I have some extra time. So yeah, I wanted to come and just do a little 10-15 minute live. Yeah, let me bring this up first so I could let me go to Twitter. Let me tell you something about me. I don't know what it is, but yeah, God definitely took his time making me in my mind in the way that I'm telling you. Let me tell you this. When I seen Rosalia, when she was sweeping at the Latin Grammys, I knew that Cardi B was going to want to be associated with her. You know what I'm saying? I knew that she was, because Cardi B has been trying to get a hit like Tusa for a while. Taki Taki was enough. All them other songs, it wasn't enough. She want that hit Spanish record, but I don't know. Do they fuck with Cardi like that in terms of like music? I know that people, you know, they force her on people due to the bots and the radio play and the hip hop, but do they fuck with Cardi like that in the with, you know, in his Hispanic culture, like as far as like music, her Spanish music? So I want to know. But in regards to her doing this collaboration with Rosalia, let me tell you, she did that song with a Nita. It flopped. Me Gusta flop, and poor Nita, thank God she rose like a phoenix after that flop, and she still was doing really, really good. So, you know what I'm saying? She's only trying to be attached to Rosalia because she just won all those Grammys. I'm telling you, when that shit was going on, something told me that Cardi B was going to be. I'm telling you, ever had something like that happen and you be like, yo, I was thinking about that. Yes, yes, yes. Hold on. So Cardi B, Rosalia. Oh man, I hope all of y'all doing good. Yo, let me tell you what happened to me last night in the store, right? So I got home last night and I got this really good weed that you know what's so crazy? I had to realize something. Yeah, I'm definitely stopping this week because this weed that I got now, this shit is crazy. So I got some it's called Miss Mary. It's called Miss Mac, right? That's what this shit is called. You Google the strain and look it up. It's called Miss Mac. So I went and got this shit. So, you know, I'm like, oh, this shit is good. Like, you know, yesterday I came home from work, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, right? Yesterday I came home from work and I had to go out and do some task or whatever. So I came home and I smoked a little bit, and then it was like soon as I went outside of my apartment door, I did notice something. It was like everything just seemed really bright. I don't know, like it seemed like, but I just knew that I had just smoked. So you know how you feel when you smoke a little bit. Sometimes you feel a little hazed or whatever. So I'm just walking. I get to my car. So I get to the damn grocery store. And so I'm looking at the you know, all of the lunch meat and stuff. And so I noticed that Boar's Head has like this smoked turkey now. So I'm like, they got smoked turkey, like lunch meat turkey smoked. I was like, oh, I want to try that, right? I don't know what it was. I'm gonna tell you this. I love smoked meat. I don't know if it was something within it. I still ate it. I bought it, right? But what I'm telling you is when I bit into that smoked turkey, I promise you, it was like it sent my body into like some sort of sensory overload where I was feeling like I was about to, like, I don't know if you ever felt high like that or you feel like you about to faint or something, right? So I said, after I took that turkey and I was walking, I started like the lights was just really bright in the store. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I looked it up after and it really was true. And I don't even know why I named it that myself. I've never really experienced that before. But anyway, so I'm walking through the store and I just started feeling weird. Like, I don't know, like I just felt like kind of I just didn't feel right. I got to that register, I got my shit, I got in my car. I was still feeling like that for like at least another 10 minutes. Do you realize that I was in this store last night? So I had to do an order and I didn't feel like going to Sam's Club, right? So I said, let me go to HEB so I could get some butter, right? So I went to HEB. I got a few things that I needed, but the way that I was feeling, can you understand that this must have been serious? The way that I was feeling, I did not even want to walk over there to get the butter in HEB because I felt like, what if I fall in this fucking store? Like, hell no. I'm not. I was like, no, get to your car ASAP. Like, I don't know what it was, but that turkey sent me into it. So maybe I was just high, and then I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? And then when I bit into that turkey, it was like that taste, like I felt it. You ever tasted something where the taste just kind of like zap you? That smoke taste, it zapped me. And that shit threw me off a little bit. I'm telling you, and I was high too. So yeah, I had to get to my car. I'm trying to tell you that I could not walk to the end of the store to get that butter in HEB. I had to sit in my car for a few minutes. Then I drove all the way down the road. And then when I got down the road, I went to another HEB. And it was just like a matter of 10 minutes. It's like, yo, that shit, I felt like I was like, yo, I might have to go to the hospital because I felt like, I don't know. But it went away. And then I don't know why I said to myself in the car, I was like, I felt like it was like sensory overload. I Googled that shit and it was everything that I was experiencing. The lights was fucking with me in the store. I felt like it was so bright. It felt super bright. And mind you, I told you when I stepped outside of my door from my apartment, everything just seemed like it was bright. I was like, what the fuck? You know that feeling when you when you smoke and then you feel a little, I don't know if it's on the lines of feeling a little hazy or you feel a little dizzy. But I don't like that shit. And that's why I was like, yeah, this Mary Mac, yo, that shit is crazy. Miss Mary Mac, Mac, all dressed in black, with buttons, all down her back. Yo, this nigga, and let me tell you some shit, right? When I went and picked this up, I was kind of like leery because he only sell good high grade shit, right? So when I got there, I think he give me some consideration because he lives in Katy. So he know where I'm coming from. So he'd be like, yo, he was like, so when I went and picked it up, he was like, just give me 35. I said, 35. I said, bro, this shit is whack. I said, why you charging me 35? He was like, nah, because you came away, whatever. I still was leery. Anytime with somebody, I don't know, I'm just funny. But yeah, this shit is definitely fire. But yeah, that shit sent me into overload. Then I bit into that smoked turkey. That shit threw me into a tizzy. I'm telling you, sensory overload is a real thing, and you never know. Sometimes they say it could be food, like it could be anything, and it'll just throw you like, oh, like you ever have that feeling like back when I was younger, I used to get it more. You know how when you drink a Sprite or something and that burnt, like, you know, I love that now. But when I was younger, it used to be like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, they've been lacing weed nowadays with other things. I believe it, drugs. I'm not saying that's what happened to you, but just be on the lookout. I could believe you. These are some really good nuggets, though. So I ain't saying they ain't do it to that, but yeah, I'm done after this because yeah. Cardi is alive and mentally unwell. What you mean? So all right. So good morning. What's up, Cloud9? What's up, Lola? Please leave a like. Yeah, please thumbs up the video. The bots on Twitter is crazy. What's up? What's up? My boyfriend is Latino and Cardi B annoys Adam. None of his friends or family like her. What time is it? Yeah, because I really got to be on the move soon. I got to be on the move. So yeah, let me bring this up real quick before I be blabbing. Cardi B, Rosalia. So Rosalia announced on her Twitter page that, you know, Despecha, is that what it's called? Hold on. Go out the photo, shut your ass up. They really leaked that shit. I seen something, but I'm not listening to that. You know, I want to bring this up from Rosalia. So Rosalia, she said, "Oye 00 la Cardi." So she's saying tomorrow this Speech I remix is coming. So if you've been paying attention, if you follow like chart data and stuff like that, you see that Rosalia has recently won, you know, many Latin Grammys, and she's popping out in her world. And I think what it is that Cardi B wants a piece of that. She want that Tusa, mommy want that plusa, but Cardi, you are botted. So I mean, if they promote this and they push it over there, then you know it'll do what it does over there. But I don't think Cardi B has impact because Anita is huge too. She didn't do anything for her. I know Carol G said she got another one for Nicki. She got another one she want Nicki on. Like, can you imagine?
Booty calls, you get
yeah.
It's me and Carol G.
We let them don't run up on us because we're letting them. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Shorty was jealous when that song came out. She was like, passed on it. Yeah, she always feel a sort of way. She don't want that black girl to be on no Latin song, so it's been killing her that Nicki got a hit with that. So she has to prove herself. She has to throw out her with Anita, and now she may thinks the stakes are higher because Rosalia is coming off of all these Latin Grammys. She popping. She could bring my body ass up. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is with Cardi. Nothing is never organic with her. She fuck with people because when they hot and they peak. You ain't noticed that with Glorilla? Like, does anybody like any other songs from Glorilla's project? Because I don't ever hear nobody talking about any other song but Fuck Nigga Free and the other song. But do anybody like any other things from her project? Let me know. Let's bring that in closer so you can see it. So, Cardi was in Jamaica with Off Cheese, she said. Rosalia is up. Well, we know you know. Let's see. Zay. Lola Milan, they don't like her because she puts on Nicki is more loved by Latins than her. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're saying that, other people have said that too, right? But the thing is, Cardi will do anything to try to push herself on. I feel like she'll do anything. You know, Glorilla, to be honest with you, Glorilla wouldn't have that much radio play if Cardi B wasn't on that song, because, you know, it's a collaborated effort when people are on songs together and they want the song to do well. As far as like the push from radio, from what I've seen with her collaboration with Megan, well, they both on Atlantic. I just think back then people didn't really understand that Megan was affiliated with Atlantic Records. So I felt, listen, you know what's so crazy? I don't. This is what I want to say, right? And this is how I feel. I don't give a fuck about how nobody else feel. Damn, no, I still got to do my video on that. But I still feel like in general, yeah, I can say it now. In general, I sit back, I observe people, right? And I am not saying we know what happened to Megan Thee Stallion, but something did happen to her, right? What I will say is to people, like, I want you to just think about this. If you have a daughter, if you have sons, if you have things like that, or whatever the case may be, I understand that in the point of liking people and shit like that. And I even like, don't, you know, Megan, to be honest, it kind of break my heart because I don't even really listen to her music like that. It's like when she kind of wronged Nicki, and take heed if anybody do that. Like, it's like, to me, it's Foxy Brown Nicki. It's like, yeah, it's like, if that's how I kind of feel. So it's like, I don't really like get into her. And I feel like, you know, even though I feel like she is a fucked up person and she's phony, she's fake, she, whatever the case may be, right? I still think about my nieces. This is where I'm coming home to. I'm thinking about my nieces. And if you notice, I don't really talk about this case like that. I do say that I don't you know, something did happen, but I want you to think about the women in your family that you love, or whatever the case may be. I don't think people consider that. I don't think people consider the karma of it all, because this is why, like, I can't really say like, oh, you know, Megan didn't deserve whatever happened to her, but what I also say in my commentary is that she got affiliated with Tory by clout chasing. You did what you had to do to get what you wanted from Nicki. You did what you had to do to get yourself positioned and mixed up with Tory. You seen his ability. You seen Nicki's ability. You know she's a queen of rap. You know that doing a record with her is big. You got what you wanted. You paraded and played her music every day and turned up to it, make the blogs, tell Nicki, put me on Queen Radio, tag Nicki, this, that. You did everything that was beautiful, and we thought that you were amazing coming out of the South. We did. We thought that you were amazing, but you were a fucking fraud in regards to who your person is. I just don't want people to confuse that with not liking a person and having women in your family and you going so hard, because if something like that happened to them and they get, or anything happens to them, I'm telling you, some people are blind to the karma and what they speak out and what they do. With the black women in my family that I love, I wouldn't even feel fully right. And I'm not, listen, whatever happens in court happens, right? I'm not celebrating her pain in regards to, and I think I need to make that clear. I'm not celebrating her pain in regards to somebody assaulted you or whatever and they got away with it. But you know, it's hard. I'm not celebrating that. I'm looking at it from a point of like, damn, like, you know, I still feel like within the situation there is some karma. There's a lesson to be learned. Hopefully, Megan won't get flicked up with people. She won't mix up with them. But I can't sit here with women in my family that I love and celebrate, knowing that if something really did happen to her, they just can't prove it. Unfortunately, due to testimony, statements, whatever you can prove, court is about what you can prove, right? So what I'm saying is that I just think people should be careful what they say, especially if you have children, if you have nieces you love. I think you should just be careful because that karma is real sometimes. And yeah, I think that's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel. I think that you should just be really, really careful because I would hate to get that call that something happened to my niece and, whatever. It's just all about what we see people get off every day and you know that they did that shit. It's just all about their lawyers or whatever. This shit is on a whole nother level. Their lawyers are all out of our tax brackets and money that we don't even make. It's all about, how long that they had. Look how much time that they had to even if they collaborated, Kelsey and Tory behind the scenes, I'm not saying that they did, but I'm saying it's been a long time. They've had the ability to play shit out. You know how when something happened to you, say you got caught with something, right? I've been the type of person to do this and it always worked for me, right? Say you get caught, right? And somebody say, yo, LaRon, you did this. I would admit that shit. You get caught when you start scurrying. And I don't scurry for no motherfucker. If I did it, I did it. Yep, I did. And you know what I would use for? I ain't gonna lie. This may be the manipulation in it. Say I got caught doing something on the job or something like that. I'll say, oh, I didn't know. You have one time to say that you didn't know. Say when you're working in a call center and you put yourself in after call and they tell you you're not supposed to use it and you do it as a new employee. Sometimes you might be overwhelmed, but you do it. And then if somebody says something, you be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then they might send a little email out like, oh, please don't put yourself. Yeah, you have that one time to say that you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't want to confuse, because I don't like Megan's personality approach and how she deals with people. I don't like how she did Nicki, but I don't relate that into a fact of something that didn't happen to her. You know what I'm saying? I just rather, and in general, I don't really talk about people's court cases at all, because that shit is just not G to me. It's just not, especially where I come from. Come on, think about it. It's just to me, I feel like I do what I do on here, what I would do on the street. I would not be on the street talking about nobody court case. I feel like it's crazy. We know that Megan is a liar. We can say that in certain things. Maybe she lied about certain things, like who she had sex with. Now, you know what's so crazy, right? I do feel like it's a melting pot of a whole bunch of things going on, right? I think that she could have had sex with people, whatever the case may be, and that proves that she is a liar in some regard. Yes, I do believe that it does show that she's a liar in some regard, but that does not mean that's something that didn't happen. But they gotta prove it, right? I'm just telling you, be careful. If you smile up in a woman's face every day in your family, just be careful what you say about people. A person could be a liar and they could be a hoe, right? They could be a hoe. They can be a lot of things, right? But yeah, if something, they just got to prove it. Now, honestly, we don't know if Kelsey or Tory did it. We don't know at this point. The way they did, I'm telling you that this shit is some mixed up. This is some collard greens, cabbage, and kale mixed up. It's and turkey, meat, and pork mixed up. They just don't know what's going on. I feel like the story has took, and now now that people are, questioning whether Megan is truthful or not. So it's just unfortunate. But what I would just say is that just if you have women in your family that you love and that you consider and that you smile up in their face and friends, just consider how you're applauding this case. You can look at it from a point yeah, she did she did lie, she did sleep around, she is a hoe or whatever the case may be, but something did happen to her. But who did it? We don't know whether it was Kelsey or listen, you don't know if it's Kelsey, Tory, or the bodyguard. Don't know. The way that they done mix this shit up, like some little, when people scramble their eggs, I don't like when people scramble eggs and they so small. I hate when people scramble them shits and little pieces of eggs. I like scrambled eggs, but I don't like it scrambled in little people they done scrambled this shit up. It's scrambled, and it is what will be will be. That's all I can say. What will be, will be. So Megan got hurt. I do not believe she was shot intentionally, which she is trying to paint. I don't know what happened. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, Cardi B is trying to come up with her. She's trying to do her little Tusa with Rosalia. And yeah, something clearly happened. I honestly don't feel like Meg is lying about Tory allegedly shooting her. I just don't think it exactly happened how she's saying it. It's clear that they were all lying. But can I tell you something? Let's look closer on that. if that was your daughter, and even if they was playing and they was drunk, and you know how things go too far when people are drunk, right? If say she did offend him about, his music or whatever, I think I'm not a big Tory Lanez fan, but I think that his music is okay. I'm just not a listener. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I hear it, it sounds good. The production sounds good, and it sounds like he took time with it. But I'm like certain people I'm just not a listener of. Like, you know what I'm saying? So but people could say the same thing about Megan with her music. You know what I'm saying? But men, the truth is about men, we hate public embarrassment. We don't like to be embarrassed in front of anybody. Men don't like that, right? But what I'm trying to say is like something did happen. What if that was your daughter and your daughter did this a nigga or something? Say that was the case. Say she did this a nigga and say, yo, you mad whack. And like, nigga, you come too quick. Every bitch is saying that you come within like 2 minutes. Right. And then he pop on your daughter. You can't say just because she said that. Like, that's why I'm saying be careful what you wish out there. That's all I'm telling you. And you could curse me out and say that I'm wrong for feeling this way. I'm just telling you, be careful of because something did happen in either way. Well, you know what? If you could make it make sense in a way where Megan was really whooping Kelsey's ass, you know how the person said that she was beating her up? Maybe that was the self-defense of it, but maybe she doesn't want to get into that. Or maybe Tory really did shoot her. We don't know. This shit is so mixed up. But what I'm trying to tell you is something did happen to her. And if that was your daughter, or if that was your sister, or if that was your friend, you would feel some sort of way. That's all I'm saying. So, like, I kind of like think about, I don't feel 100% bad because I just know that I feel like my approach to this whole situation again has always been Megan wouldn't have been mixed up in this shit if she was in Houston right now. If she would have at the start of this whole beef with 1501, if she would have kept shit right with them, come to amends with your record label, but no, you flew out to Calabasas with them bastards. You've been all out there, and it's just like you ain't worked on what really needed to be worked on. You was out there chasing Tory ever since that quarantine radio, and you just got mixed up, and that's from being a clout chaser, social climber. That's everything. That's everything that you are, and that's why like nah, That's why I respect Nicki for not being up in the clubs and doing shit like that. No, she's an artist. She's coming. So when she's coming, she's coming. Oh, man. Listen, I'm about to get up out of here. Fell out with everyone she worked with during her come up. The facts is Meg is a liar. Yep, and that's true. And I don't think Megan has no loyalty. All about protecting herself. Yeah, but Zay, just be careful on what you saying that to. That's all I'm trying to say. Understand what I'm going to say this one more time, right? We don't like Megan because we seen her shiest people who we like, right? We seen how she moves. We seen how she social climbs. No loyalty, right? Right? If me and you got into it and you called me out, say you called me out and was like, oh, you're whack, and this is why I like this blogger over you. And I popped you, right? And I had somebody else with me, or whatever the case may be, or say somebody else, you was fighting somebody else with me. The same situation applies, right? But they couldn't prove it. That don't mean just because you called me whack and you said that another blogger was better than me, that I should have popped you. You understand what I'm saying? All I'm trying to tell you is that, and we don't know who popped her, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is that that's still somebody's being. For one, she's her own being, and that's still somebody's child. That's still somebody's sister and friend. So yeah, unfortunately, now I'm not going to approve that it would be right if Kelsey shot her. If maybe, I mean, you can't really tell the person what to do in self-defense because they said the people in the witness said that she was beating her up, right? So you can't tell a person what to do in self-defense, but we don't even know if she shot her for, like, I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say is I think the pressure is on both of them. It's all of the pressure is just not on Tory. And I think some of you fans get that shit mixed up. Be careful what you put out there and it don't have to be in the sense of a woman in your family being shot or anything. It could be a sexual assault. It could be anything happening, anything. Just be careful what you praying for a person because you don't like their character and they've been seen to be a liar. Just because people are liars and shit like that don't mean that things don't happen to them, right? But that's what I'm saying. That's it. That's it. I'm so late. Hey, y'all, something happened to her. I feel bad. She got hurt. I mean, yeah, be careful because your comment, I'm sorry, I'm not really feeling that. I'm not. Because it seemed like you're mixing the first sentence in with the other. You're saying something happened to her that night. I felt bad that she got hurt. Still doesn't change that she has no loyalty. But I feel like if you're a human being, do you care about number one? Really? Because it seemed like, and I had to question myself. And Zay, I'm trying to say, like, I had to question myself with that. Like, are you taking this to the point because you don't like her because who she is over like what actually happened? And I just want to make sure that I don't fall into the mix of that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I see you. I know that you love the women in you. Just be careful. Just be. That's all I'm saying. If you care, just be careful how you for what you feel. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to go back to Canada after making a life down here. Come on. She puts herself in fucked up predicaments. That's why I'm saying, Smart Queen. And it's all due to who she is and how she operates. That's how I feel. So, I mean, everybody can have their own opinion. I respect it, but I just would say, yeah, don't mix up the fact that we see her as a social climber, a user of Nicki Minaj, a setter upper, tried to get on live and try to diss Cardi and try to get Nicki mixed into it. Megan she's really fucked. To me, she's fucked up in that regard. But don't mix that into the fact that something did happen to her and they just can't prove it. Who did it? They can't prove who did it. This shit is so mixed up. They can't prove it. But don't take that away from something that happened to her, because that something that happened to her could have been that something that happened to your sister. That's something that happened to your niece. That's something that happened to your daughter. That's something that happened to your friend. Just be careful. A lot of people are fucked up. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I'm out. Peace.